για το κάπνισμα.
Kära. Nej. Utan lungorna så här klibbar ihop sig av det här. Ja. Lukta.
Får också lukta. Det luktar eld ju.
It's not like an ordinary lesson that I'm the teacher and I get to stand by the board and say, okay, this is what happened. But the whole thing is about letting them know how dangerous it is and then letting them try to say no or say, why do people start? And we discuss, why do people start using it when it's so dangerous for you and how could you say no to it?
Και εμείς αν κάναμε μάθημα έτσι στο σχολείο, δεν θα κάπνιζα ποτέ στη ζωή μου.
My dad actually passed away and he had been a smoker all his life. And it was after that I started doing this.
Εκτός από το εκπαιδευτικό σύστημα, τις υψηλές τιμές στα είδη καπνού και την απαγόρευση καπνίσματος σε όλους τους κλειστούς δημόσιους χώρους, το κράτος παρέχει τηλεφωνικό-συμβουλευτική υποστήριξη σε όσους πολίτες ζητήσουν βοήθεια για να κόψουν το κάπνισμα.
Hej, hur står det till? Du försöker. Men du har klarat dig att inte röka. Vad duktigt av dig.
We treat about 8,000 smokers each year. We have equal amounts of poor people and rich people calling us. The mean age is about 44 years of age, and they've been smoking for 25 to 30 years. So that's the sort of average person that is calling us.
Το επιτυχημένο σουηδικό μοντέλο έχει όμως και ένα σκοτεινό σημείο. Το σκοτεινό σημείο λέγεται snus.
Well, although I'm a non-smoker, I'm still a nicotine addict because in Sweden we have this, we have our own invention, this thing called snus, and it's basically you can't get one of these in lose weight, but I use this small sacks. And it's got tobacco and water and all kinds of chemicals. And what you do is basically you take one of the sacks and you sort of flatten it like that, if you want, and you just put it on your lip and you keep it there.
Η Σουηδία είναι η μοναδική χώρα στην Ευρώπη στην οποία επιτρέπεται να κυκλοφορούν τα παραδοσιακά σακουλάκια καπνού snus. Τα snus είναι πολύ δημοφιλή στη Σουηδία, ακόμα και στις γυναίκες.
We don't want the women to, for the third time, be losers, so to say. I mean, the first time was when they took over the male habit of smoking. The second time was when they bought the false message of light cigarettes. And now the tobacco industry says, now you should switch to smokeless tobacco, when we know that this is not the solution to the smoking issue.
Yeah, I think so. A lot of girls have started to use the snus now as well, because earlier it was mostly guys, but a lot of my girlfriends started to use it.
The way it works is that it sort of penetrates your gum, so the nicotine goes out into your blood circulation. And that's the thing about it. And the nicotine works the same way as it does with cigarettes. Like, it makes you feel good somehow.
You have tasted? Have you? No?
No, maybe once or twice, I don't remember. No, no. I prefer my cigarettes.
Why don't you even taste it? You just put it.
Yeah, I've tried, but I don't like it. I don't like the feeling of it because it's like it's burning inside. And, no.
Yes?
Yeah, but you get used to it after a while, you know. The first time you smoke, it's not a very pleasant thing either, you know. But as soon as you get used to it...
Πάτω. Μυρίζει πάρα πολύ άσχημα, σε παρακαλώ.
Δεν θέλεις, έλα, δες το πώς είναι.
Όχι, όχι, όχι.
I mean, let's face it, there is a certain coolness about smoking. I mean, we've all seen the films with Humphrey Bogart, and some other people that actually make an art out of smoking. But I'd say it's pretty hard to make an art out of doing this. You know, this is purely for your addiction and nothing besides.
Hi, Achilles. I've heard about your effort to quit smoking. I think it's a great decision, and I wish you the best of luck. I know it's a very difficult thing to do, and personally I'm not ready for it yet, but maybe someday. And yeah, I do know that health is only one cigarette away. So as I said, the best of luck all the way from Sweden.
Ευχαριστώ πολύ. Σας ευχαριστώ. Μαρλέν, εγώ θα συνεχίσω την προσπάθεια. Θα τη συνεχίσω την προσπάθεια και θα το κόψω το τσιγάρο. Και κάποια στιγμή ίσως βρεθούμε και σε βοηθήσω να το κόψεις κι εσύ. Πόσα τσιγάρα δρόμος είπαμε ότι είναι μέχρι τη Σουηδία?
Στο σπίτι αυτό ζει ο Άλαν Φόλεϊ με την οικογένειά του. Ο κύριος Φόλεϊ έμαθε πριν από 10 χρόνια πως πάσχει από χρόνια αποφρακτική πνευμονοπάθεια λόγω του τσιγάρου. Σήμερα λειτουργεί μόνο το 15% των πνευμόνων του.
I started smoking when I was 14 or 15, and I would say a medium to heavy smoker, possibly sort of between, say, 20 and 25 cigarettes per day. I'd always had a cough. The cough got progressively worse. The thing was that when I had the cough, I should have known really now that there was something wrong.
He'd had pneumonia on a couple of occasions. He was admitted to hospital on one of those occasions, and that was when they told him that he had emphysema. And because he could still get about and do most things, he didn't really take a lot of notice, and he carried on smoking. On the Saturday night, we'd gone to bed, and he woke up and said he had these terrible pains around his chest, and I immediately thought of heart problems, and it was unlike him because he immediately, you know, was quite willing to go to the hospital, and this was about 12 o'clock at midnight.
And I was laying in bed, and a doctor came to see me, and I'd had a lung function test, and he said, Mr. Foley, I've got something to tell you. So I sort of looked at him, and he said, you've not had a heart attack. He said, you've had something a bit more serious. So I thought to myself, how can you have something more serious than a heart attack? And he said that I have COPD, or emphysema. And that was 10 years ago in April.
He, unfortunately, is like maybe 60 to 80% of chronic smokers who develop clear signs that they have a disease, and they're so addicted that they cannot stop smoking.
Η χρόνια αποφρακτική πνευμονοπάθεια αποτελεί την 4η θανατηφόρο νόσο παγκοσμίως και προκαλείται σχεδόν αποκλειστικά από το κάπνισμα. Οι περισσότεροι ακόμα και σήμερα αγνοούν πως ακόμα και ο απλός καθημερινός τσιγαρόβιχας μπορεί να είναι ένα πρώτο σύμπτωμα της νόσου.
There's not much treatment. It's not reversible. So in actual fact the damage to your lungs is permanent. So yes, as you say, the treatment is more supportive. I myself just have the oxygen concentrator plus a couple of pumps which I take morning and evening. I've been diagnosed the oxygen concentrator about 18 months ago. I found it difficult to start with, but I'm supposed to have it for 15 hours a day.
Life has changed, And even our social life's changed. I mean, we've got, you know, a group of friends that we go out with, and they're the people that we've known all our lives. Like my friend that was here today, and we, you know, if they say, oh, we've got this, we're going to so-and-so, if it's anything that entails a lot of walking or going up steps, we can't go. We don't go, you know.
It's a lot more difficult because basically I depend on quite a few people, especially my wife, my family. I can't have the active life that I had before. I can't sort of do any sport at all. I have problems in sort of looking after myself as far as having a shower or washing my hair, and it's little things like this that does affect your day-to-day life.
He gets frustrated sometimes because he can't do certain things for himself, you know, like take his jumper off because he gets out of breath, or get in and out of the shower. When he does have a shower, I'm always around in case he gets panicky, you know, has a panic attack, and I'm there to, dry his back or whatever he needs doing, you know, and I lay his clothes out for him. They're the little things you notice, you know, that I do now for him, never done before. But I'm sure, you know, most couples that have been together a long time, you don't think about, you know, why you're doing anything. It just comes naturally, just do it for each other. Yeah, he's worried that when he gets so bad and he can't get out of the house and he can't do the things that he can do now. Yeah, I think he is worried about that. He doesn't talk about it too much, but now and again we will talk about it. And I just reassure him that I'm always here.
Apart from sort of my wife, and she's my best friend, she's my carer. Without her, you know, sort of, my life would be not very, very attractive.
He's just, because you've been married such a long time, you know, you just, it's just one of those things life throws at you, and you just accept it, because there's nothing you can do. You can't say, you know, well, that's it, you know, I can't, you know, I won't look after you. Yeah, you just accept it.
Are you afraid of the next moment?
Well, it's not so much afraid, because I know that what's going to happen. I'm not really afraid. It's just more sort of thinking, well, I've got to sort of try to keep the level that I am for as long as I possibly can.
I wouldn't want to see him suffer, you know, through not breathing properly. Yeah, I am afraid for him. And I know he is too. But, you know, we just got to take life as it comes. Mm.
I guess, please, look at me, and the next time you pick up a cigarette to light it, think, no, I've just seen Alan. I don't want to be like Alan. Okay?
Τι έγινε εκεί? Θα σταματήσουμε?
Ναι. Κατέβηκα στο κέντρο της πόλης, κάνανε δωρεάν, πολλοί κόσμος, κάνανε δωρεάν σπυρομέτρηση. Νομίζω έτσι το λένε, σωστά. Σπυρομέτρηση. Πήγαμε εκεί πέρα και φυσάγαμε σε ένα πράγμα και σου λέγανε για το αν είναι εντάξει οι πνεύμονές σου.
Έχεις φοβηθεί?
Πολύ. Είναι διαφορετικά να τα ακούς